The room you're sitting in right now is already changing your dopamine, your cortisol, and your focus before you've done a single thing in it. Not metaphorically, physiologically. The lighting hitting your retina, the amount of visual clutter in your peripheral vision, the temperature of the light bulb above your head. Each one is sending a signal to your brain that either helps regulate your mood or quietly works against it. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 4 biggest levers your home has over your mental state: light, order, nature, and reward cues. And you'll have a room-by-room protocol to use every one of them. No renovation required. Most of this costs under $50 in one afternoon. The Dopamine Decor Guide. Let's start with why your home has this much power over your brain in the first place. Here's the frame. Your brain didn't evolve to live indoors. For almost all of human history, your environment was the input. Sunrise told you when to be alert, open sightlines told you when it was safe to relax, and a lack of clutter usually meant there wasn't a threat hiding in it. Now flip to today. The average person in an industrialized country spends somewhere around 90% of their time indoors. That means the environmental cues your nervous system evolved to read, light, order, nature, safety, are now almost entirely under your control. Inside 4 walls, most of them ignored. That's actually good news, because it means your home isn't neutral. It's not just a backdrop for your life, it's a lever. Every design choice you make is either working with your neurochemistry or against it. I want to be precise about the word dopamine here, because it gets misused constantly online. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical. It's better understood as the motivation and reward prediction chemical. It rises in anticipation of something good, and it's shaped heavily by cues in your environment that predict reward, safety, or effort. So, dopamine decor isn't about making your home look exciting. It's about using your space to send your brain the right predictive cues. This is a place of order. This is a place of rest. This is a place where good things happen, instead of the wrong ones. Let's get into the 4 mechanisms, one at a time, starting with the one your brain checks first. Light. Your eyes contain a class of cells, intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells that don't help you see. Their only job is to detect light intensity and send that signal straight to your brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That clock uses light as its main timing cue for almost everything downstream: cortisol release, body temperature, alertness, and mood-related neurotransmitter activity. This is why morning light matters so much. Randomized trials using bright light exposure in the 2,500 to 5,000 lux range, roughly what you'd get standing near a bright window or outdoors on an overcast day, have shown measurable improvements in mood, sleep timing, and daytime alertness, including in clinical populations dealing with depression and circadian disruption. The mechanism isn't mystical, it's timing. Light in the morning tells your internal clock the day has started, which cascades into the hormonal rhythm that governs energy and mood for the next 16 hours. Now here's where dopamine specifically comes in. Research on light-sensitive circadian circuits has found that light exposure and dopaminergic signaling directly interact to promote daytime wakefulness. Light isn't just a mood cue. It's part of the same circuitry that regulates dopamine-driven arousal. So, the room you wake up in, specifically how much bright light reaches your eyes in the first hour, is doing real neurochemical work. A dim, curtain-blocked bedroom is a missed dose. Second mechanism, physical clutter. In 2010, UCLA researchers Darby Saxby and Rena Rapetti ran a study where they had dual-income couples give video tours of their own homes, then measured cortisol, the primary stress hormone, across the following days. Saxby and Rapetti, 2010, Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, No Place Like Home. The people who used more clutter-related, unfinished-sounding language to describe their homes showed flatter, less healthy cortisol rhythms across the day, a pattern that's generally associated with chronic stress. People who described their homes in more restorative language, calm, natural light, plants, showed healthier cortisol curves. I want to flag something important here. because this study gets overstated online constantly. This was a correlational study of language and cortisol, not a controlled experiment proving clutter causes depression. We'll come back to that distinction in the nuance section. But the pattern has since shown up in other independent work on home clutter and subjective well-being. Mechanistically, here's the likely pathway. Clutter is unresolved visual information. Every object out of place is a tiny unfinished task your visual system keeps re-registering, which taxes the same attentional resources you'd otherwise use for focus and emotional regulation. It's not that mess is inherently threatening, it's that it's cognitively expensive all day in the background. That's the cost side. Now the reward side. Third mechanism, biophilia, our built-in bias toward natural elements. Multiple studies, including randomized designs, have found that interacting with or even just viewing indoor plants lowers physiological stress markers, heart rate, blood pressure, and self-reported anxiety, compared to non-natural control environments. Han, Ruan, and Liao, 2022, Systematic Review plus Meta-Analysis, Inter-J Environmental Research and Public Health. One randomized crossover study specifically found that simply interacting with an indoor plant versus a non-natural object reduced sympathetic nervous system activity, the fight-or-flight branch, in young adults. The proposed mechanism ties back to attention restoration theory, natural stimuli, plants, natural light, natural materials like wood, capture attention effortlessly, which lets the effortful, directed attention system that you use for work and stress take a break. That's a different kind of rest than sleep, and most homes don't offer any of it. But, and this matters for your protocol later, newer research has also found that biophilic elements can backfire if overdone. High indoor green coverage in some studies has been linked to more arousal and mental fatigue, not less, particularly when combined with too much sensory stimulation at once. Scoping Review, Biophilic Design Interventions, 2000, 2025, Buildings Journal, 2026. So nature cues help. But like most dosed interventions, more isn't always better. More on that in a few minutes. Last mechanism, and the one that ties this whole video together, your home can be arranged to cue reward before you even get the reward. Remember, dopamine tracks prediction, not just consumption. A famous line of research on reward prediction error found that dopamine neurons fire not just when you get a reward, but in anticipation of it, based on learned cues that reliably predict it. Translate that into a room. If you consistently do a rewarding activity, reading, a hobby, a workout, in the same visual context, that context itself becomes a predictive cue. Walking into it starts to generate a small anticipatory dopamine rise, which is part of why a dedicated, visually consistent space for a habit makes that habit easier to start. This is also why a bedroom that's used for work, doom scrolling, and sleep all in the same visual context struggles. The cues are mixed, so the room doesn't reliably predict anything, including rest. So the four levers are: light for circadian and arousal regulation, decluttering for cognitive load, natural elements for attention restoration, and consistent visual context for reward cueing. Now let's turn that into an actual weekend protocol. Here's how to apply all four mechanisms, room by room, roughly in order of return on effort. Open your bedroom curtains or blinds fully the moment you wake. Don't wait until you're dressed. If your room doesn't get direct light, move your first 10-20 minutes of the day near the brightest window in the home, or step outside. If you live somewhere genuinely low light in winter, a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp used for 20-30 minutes in the morning is the most evidence-backed single purchase in this entire video. Don't try to declutter your whole house in one day. That's a decision fatigue trap. Pick the one surface you look at most, kitchen counter, desk, or nightstand, and clear it to bare surface. Then return only the 3 to 5 objects that are either functional or genuinely liked. That single surface is disproportionately responsible for the unfinished home language the UCLA study linked to unhealthy cortisol patterns. One plant per room you actually sit in, living room, home office, bedroom. Pick low-maintenance species, pothos, snake plant, ZZ plant, so the plant doesn't become another source of guilt-driven clutter if it dies. This is a deliberate low dose, on purpose. See the nuance section for why. Swap bulbs so you have cooler blue or white light, around 4000-5000 K, in workspaces during the day, and warmer, dimmer light, 2700 K or lower, in bedrooms and living rooms in the evening. This isn't decoration. It's giving your circadian system a light signal that actually matches the time of day, instead of fighting it with bright blue light at 10 p.m. Pick the single habit you most want to reinforce: reading, a hobby, focused work, and give it one consistent physical spot with nothing else competing for that context. A specific chair, a specific desk zone, a specific mat. Don't do email there, don't scroll there. Let that spot start to predict the reward, so walking toward it does some of the motivational work for you. If budget or space allows one more change, work backward from your bedroom. No work materials, no bright overhead light, and ideally no charging phone within arm's reach. The goal is that your bedroom's visual context reliably predicts one thing: rest, because a room can't cue everything at once. That's the full protocol. Now, 3 caveats you need before you take any of this too far. First, the clutter cortisol research is correlational. It shows a real replicated association between how people describe their homes and their stress hormone patterns. It does not prove that decluttering will lower your cortisol, and one widely shared claim, that it causes depression, is a documented overstatement of the original data. Treat decluttering as a plausible, low-cost lever, not a guaranteed cure. Second, more biophilia is not automatically better. Some studies found that high indoor green coverage and stacking multiple sensory nature cues at once, plants, water sounds, and nature projections together, actually increased mental fatigue and distraction instead of reducing it. One plant per room, done well, beats a jungle done halfway. Third, individual differences are real. The original UCLA clutter study found a notably stronger effect in women than in men in that sample, and restorative response to nature cues varies by personality and by how much control someone actually feels they have over their space. Renters and people in shared or unstable housing may get less benefit from an intervention like this than the headline numbers suggest, simply because the environment itself is less under their control. None of that makes this useless. It makes it something to test on yourself, not follow blindly. To recap, fix your morning light, reset one surface, add one plant per room, and build one consistent cue space for your most important habit. Do those 4 things this weekend, and you've applied everything in this video. If you want the exact shopping list, bulb temperatures, specific low-maintenance plants, and light lamp lux specs, I've put it in the description, along with every study cited in this video with direct links. Try the surface reset and the light timing change first. Those 2 take under 30 minutes combined and have the most direct evidence behind them. Let me know in the comments which one you notice a difference from fastest. Frequently asked questions. What is dopamine decor? Dopamine decor is the practice of arranging your home's light, order, natural elements, and habit cues so they send your brain accurate predictive signals. This is a place of rest, this is a place of focus, rather than the mixed or negative cues clutter and poor lighting create. Does clutter actually raise cortisol? A 2010 UCLA study, Saxby and Rapetti, found that people who described their homes using more clutter-related language showed less healthy, flatter cortisol rhythms across the day. It's a correlational finding, not proof that clutter causes stress, but it's been echoed in later research on home clutter and well-being. What is the best light for a bedroom at night? Warm, dim light at or below 2700 K in the evening supports your circadian rhythm better than bright blue-white light, which can suppress the wind-down signal your brain needs before sleep. Do houseplants really reduce stress? Yes, in moderation. Randomized studies have linked interacting with or viewing indoor plants to lower blood pressure, heart rate, and self-reported anxiety. But research also shows that overloading a room with too many natural and sensory elements at once can backfire and increase mental fatigue instead. How much light exposure do I need in the morning? Studies using bright light therapy in the 2500-5000 lux range, roughly a bright window or overcast daylight, for 20-30 minutes in the morning, have shown measurable improvements in mood, alertness, and sleep timing. Is this backed by real research or just aesthetic advice? Every mechanism in this video is tied to a named peer-reviewed or clinical trial source. See sources below. The nuance section also flags where the evidence is correlational rather than causal, so you can weigh it accordingly. If you only do one thing from this video, open your curtains the second you wake up. Morning light exposure is the single biggest lever for circadian rhythm, mood, and dopamine regulation, and it's free. The other three Dopamine Decor moves, decluttering for cortisol, adding one low-maintenance plant for stress relief, and building a consistent habit cue space, are all in the breakdown above with the studies behind them. What's the messiest room in your house right now? Drop your answer on the comment, like, and subscribe. Health is wealth. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.